Hello, and welcome to the Orlando World's Sunday Showdown round of 64. This week, we are bringing you a special edition of Sunday Showdown, featuring two attractions, not just from the same park, but from the same themed area, where both Toy Story Mania and Slinky Dog Dash, from Toy Story Land, go head-to-head for a place in the next round. Let's take a look at both attractions. Toy Story Mania is a 4D interactive track ride, based originally within Pixar Place, but now in Toy Story Land within Disney's Hollywood Studios, opened on the 31st of May, 2008, before relocating the entrance into Toy Story Land when it opened on the 30th of June, 2018. The ride invites guests to play range carnival-style games, like ring toss, darts, and shooting games, while spinning around and passing through a midway of giant screens, and interacting with each game within a time limit before moving on to the next challenge. Toy Story Mania brings a fun, fast and wild experience, particularly for younger fans of the franchise, similar to other blast rides at other theme parks, like Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, and Men in Black Alien Attack. Toy Story Mania cost over $80 million to build, and uses one of the most advanced computer networks, of over 150 computers to bring a complex, but extremely fun experience to park guests. Meanwhile, Toy Story Land's opening day attraction, Slinky Dog Dash, opened on the 30th of June, 2018. Slinky Dog Dash is a steel roller coaster aimed at families, and is a much tamer coaster compared to others. But it is fun, reaching speeds of 40 miles per hour, with plenty of bumps, twists and turns, and some fun launch sections. The ride is comparable to the likes of Magic Kingdom's Barnstormer, and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and a little less intense than Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Guests are gleefully whizzed around on the giant Slinky Dog toy, taking in some of the best of what the Toy Story franchise has to offer. It has enough to keep younger kids entertained, and keeps it enjoyable enough for adults to enjoy. Now let's head into the first of this week's 5 rounds, and see which of these two attractions will be crowned the winner in the battle of Toy Story Land's two marquee attractions. Let's go straight to round 1. Toy Story Mania isn't the most highly themed attraction at any theme park, but it does capture the Toy Story universe well. The main ride is mostly just giant screens, with not too much in the way of overall theming, but the ride is fun enough, and the mini-games provide an enjoyable blast fest for several minutes, bringing into play a few games, devised to various characters, which pulls the overall experience of the ride together. The themed areas really excel for this attraction, in the queue and exit areas, where the entrance has some wonderful theming, and inside, you are welcomed by an array of larger-than-life objects from the world of toys. From packs of giant cards, to some toys and board games, painted murals, and a giant animatronic Mr. Potato Head, talking to park guests, and offering up some jokes and humour. Toy Story Mania offers just enough in the way of themed items to tie it in successfully to the Toy Story franchise, although it isn't the most intricate of displays throughout the attraction. It will appeal more to its target audience, which is obviously younger kids, where it will appear to be a larger-than-life experience which is themed well enough for kids to feel part of the world as one of their Toy Story heroes. Slinky Dog Dash, on the other hand, takes the theming of Toy Story Land to the next level. The attraction is centered around Andy's backyard, where Andy has built a roller coaster by using his Dash and Dodge Mega Coaster kit, and using his imagination, having Slinky Dog as the ride vehicle. Slinky Dog Dash is themed in lush, overgrown greenery, which mimics the look of a backyard, which is designed to look a little rough around the edges, with Andy's toys strewn around the roller coaster, to resemble the scene of an area of the yard where toys are at play. All of the main characters of the films are on display throughout the ride, including near 20-feet statues, holding up various parts of the scenery. The theme centers heavily around Andy's imagination, with lots of sketch drawings planning out the roller coaster throughout the queue area, giving you an idea of what lies ahead on your ride. Theming to Slinky Dog Dash is better than Toy Story Mania, as it just captures the essence of the Toy Story franchise perfectly. So for round 1, it's the first point of the contest for Slinky Dog Dash as it takes the lead going into round 2. Toy Story Mania has a complex ride system, which accommodates 8 riders between 2 tandem vehicles, with 4 pairs of riders sitting back to back between the 2 vehicles. The ride has one of the highest ride capacities within Hollywood studios, accommodating up to 2,400 riders per hour, which is almost 4 times that of the capacity of Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin at Magic Kingdom. This is a considerable amount of riders, taking into account the ride is several minutes long. Toy Story Mania is able to utilize its space well, and with 8 riders per tandem, and a fairly advanced operating system in place, it is easy to maintain, and can hold more guests than that of a fairly standard blaster ride. Slinky Dog Dash though, operates with 4 Slinky Dog trains on the track. Each train has 5 ride cars, seating guests in rows of 2, giving a total of 18 riders per train. Slinky Dog Dash is a fairly low-capacity roller coaster ride. It has one of the lowest capacities for any roller coaster within Walt Disney World Resort, which for a fairly short coaster ride isn't the best, and often leads to long wait times within the park. The ride is incredibly popular, but with the Slinky Dog action, with the layout of the track, it is understandable that the ride is of a lower capacity given the movements of the trains of the track, and with the pullback launch section slowing the pace down slightly, capacity isn't as high as it could be. However, it can still bring some excitement to over 1,400 riders per hour. Although, this just isn't able to beat the capacity of Toy Story Mania, which accommodates 1,000 more guests per hour. Meaning, in round 2, the Toy Story Mania attraction levels the score going into round 3. Toy Story Mania is one of the more lengthier attractions at Disney's Hollywood studios, with an average ride duration of 6 minutes. It lasts around 1/3 longer than Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin at Magic Kingdom. Although it isn't as interactive as the Magic Kingdom attraction, it offers a variation of minigames which makes it a bit more challenging. Throughout the 6 minutes, you blast your way through corridors of giant 3D screens, set up like carnival stalls. Here, you are wearing 3D goggles and controlling your blasters with the wheel and aiming at the selection of minigames on the screens, racking up the points through each round, competing with other riders for the high score. Toy Story Mania isn't the most interesting of rides to look at in terms of its decoration on the ride, but the interactive games are fun, quirky and are non-stop fun, and offer a challenge to each rider, making the 6 minutes pass quickly, but not too fast where the ride becomes too much of a blur. Each game has a slightly different tack to it, so the duration of the ride feels like it varies as some games pass quicker than others. All in all, Toy Story Mania's ride duration is more than adequate for the type of ride. Slinky Dog Dash is a fairly average-length roller coaster ride, with a duration of 2 minutes. It travels at speeds of up to 40 miles per hour, which isn't intense, and the track feels a bit longer than it actually is. The ride's movements around the slinking track make it feel like a casual blast through the garden theme, rather than a rickety runaway track like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. The movement of the Slinky Dog trains is exactly how you would expect it to be, with a unique worm-like movement, which feels rhythmical, and adds to the feel and overall flow of the ride. There is a lot of the Toy Story world crammed into the short ride, with dozens of giant statues of characters, and various toys littered around the garden, with some good use of sound effects and the launch sections, to give riders a lot of value within the short ride time. So in round 3, the 4D attraction, Toy Story Mania, takes the lead for the first time, taking the score to 2 points to 1 going into the 4th round. Toy Story Mania has been incredibly popular since it first opened, and continues to entertain capacity crowds each day. The ride has its fair share of critics, both in favour and against the attraction. A few critics claim the ride is no more than a theme park version of the popular games console version of Toy Story Mania, and that it only offers the physical track element to something that can otherwise be played at home. However, much of the ride's real popularity comes from the fact that the attraction is family-friendly, the games are simple enough for all generations to play, it is good competitive fun, and it offers a much more child-friendly experience for juniors, as a lot of modern theme park rides appear more immersive and complex. Toy Story Mania accommodates everyone for a family-friendly fun ride, which keeps guests entertained, and competing against others offers an added reason to ride. It is an extremely popular attraction, and in its own way, does exactly what it sets out to do, entertain you. Slinky Dog Dash, though, has been critically acclaimed as one of the best family-friendly roller coasters around. Similar in popularity to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, the ride offers excitement for everyone. It's fun, especially for its target audience, but adults can appreciate and enjoy the ride, as it offers a unique track, and captures the elements of the much-loved movie franchise perfectly, and has the ability to make guests feel like they really are the size of a toy in an oversized world. The ride continues to be as popular as it was when it opened, often having extremely long wait times, however it's worth waiting for, especially if you are a fan of the franchise. So in terms of popularity, it's extremely close between two very different experiences, although the roller coaster, Slinky Dog Dash, just comes out on top as it offers more overall. So going into round 5, the score is tied at 2 points each. Toy Story Mania is incredibly popular since opening, offering a fun, family-friendly interactive track ride. Loaded with carnival-style mini-games, it's not a thrilling ride by any means, although it is very entertaining, and does offer a challenge, and allows families and groups to compete against each other. The ride does have a certain playability factor, where younger children, or even those who are ultra-competitive, would return to try and beat each other or improve on their scores. Toy Story Mania is fairly tame in terms of its ride movements, and there certainly isn't any fear factor here, but the attraction manages to offer an escape for groups, to get away from the packed theme park crowds for a few minutes, and take out the stress of the day on the ride itself, which is seen as a release, which actually does add to the competitiveness of the attraction. Even though there isn't much in terms of thrills, the ride is extremely enjoyable. But for younger guests, it certainly offers them a lot of excitement for the several minutes of play. Slinky Dog Dash isn't the most thrilling of rides either, but being a roller coaster means it does offer more in terms of thrills than any other attraction within Toy Story Land. The track is unique, with Slinky Dog taking you for a wild ride, which is surprisingly smooth. It offers a lot of excitement, with some nice turns, and a fun pullback launch section, which launches you off around the track. Slinky Dog Dash offers the younger generation a good thrill. Although a little less rough than other Disney roller coaster rides, it still manages to give a good amount of action. So in terms of thrills, neither attraction is the most thrilling. Although both equally have their extremely high value points, the Toy Story Land itself is generally more suited to the younger park guests, although adults will thoroughly enjoy the attraction's fare too. So after the fifth and final round, we do now have a winner in today's battle. Which unfortunately does mean that we have to say goodbye to the 4D attraction Toy Story Mania, which drops out of the tournament. it's still a very enjoyable attraction, and will continue to be for a long time. Slinky Dog Dash advances to the next round. Join us next time, when we head back to Galaxy's Edge for Star Wars Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, which battles SeaWorld's roller coaster, Kraken. See you next week. We hope you enjoy this video. Please support us by subscribing to our channel. You can find us on social media platforms. Find us on Facebook and Twitter at Orlando Worlds, and on Instagram at the Orlando Worlds. Thanks for watching.